Hey guys, it's Hans Hobbies, and today I have my Hornet on my desk. I actually haven't had this thing on camera in a long while. And I actually haven't even touched it or driven it much in a long while either. But I thought since recently I've been kind of dusting off some of my old Tamiyas, I thought it was time for this thing to get a little bit more love again. Even though it looks absolutely phenomenal, it looks fantastic right now sitting on my desk, it's actually broken. There's a couple of parts that are broken. It runs, but there are a couple of parts that are broken. Taking this body off. You can see right here, there's a bunch of sheared parts. This is the Ampro Engineering rear body mount and wing mount. The wing mount, I actually sheared off myself because I wanted to run this stock wing on it, and you can't run the stock wing with this wing mount. So that's why I did that. When I got this wing mount, it originally had like a different beater body on it before I put the new body on it, so that's why I had this thing. But I had to cut those wing mounts off, and then the body mounts also broke because the last time I ran this, I ran it with the beater body, the old body which no longer had a wing on it. And if you run this without a wing on it, it tends to break the body mounts because the wing actually kind of helps hide the body mounts and protects them a little bit from getting dragged on the ground when it flips over. And this thing does flip over quite often, so I'm gonna have to fix that. I would have bought the Ampro part again, but unfortunately right now, Shapeway's prices have gone really high, and Shapeways is really expensive at the moment, and it was just a little bit more economical for me to buy this entire parts Tamiya parts tree with the stock body mounts on it. I know I have the stock body mounts somewhere when I took them off to put these on, but I can't seem to find them, so I ended up just buying a whole new sprue. This sprue includes a whole bunch of different parts on it. If you open it up, you'll see the transmission mount, the body mount, the shock mounts for the axles, some other miscellaneous parts on here. This does look like a front body mount, so I guess I have an extra front body mount now, which is nice. Don't remember what those parts are, but anyway, there's a lot of parts on here. All we need are these two little parts. Another part that's broken on it is, it's not really noticeable, and I actually honestly don't remember which wheel it is, but one of these two front wheels is actually broken. The actual little hub where the bearing sits broke off, and I have super glued it back into place, but I don't quite remember which one it was. I'm assuming it's this one from how it doesn't spin properly. So naturally I have a couple of front wheels as well. So starting off with the body mount, we want to take these stock ones off first. And here I have my handy JIS screwdriver. And you just want to take those off. These do have nuts on the back, but they are serrated nuts, so you actually don't have to hold the nut down to undo the screw, because the nut itself kind of holds itself. So you want to take that off. There is a washer behind this, so you want to be careful not to lose the washer. Again, with a lot of these Tamiya repair videos, a lot of people have built their own kit, so they don't need me to tell them what parts go where. But in case you are new to this, or you got one secondhand or something, hopefully this video helps. I want to take the rear shock off as well. Just another self-tapping screw here. Make sure you don't lose this little brass piece. It's kind of stuck on there. I'll take that off in a second, but taking the other side off. The Hornet really is a beginner vehicle, and you can kind of tell with how simply it was constructed. It's very easy to work on. and it's very easy to build, which is something that I really enjoy about the Hornet. So now this whole piece can come off, and those pieces are kind of stuck on there, so I'm kind of break them off. So that part's useless to me now. And then just quickly snip off these two little pieces. If you are really anal about this, you can take a X-Acto knife or a hobby knife and ground down some of these nub marks, but I don't really feel like doing it. Of course, it doesn't take that much time or effort to do that. I'm just feeling a little bit lazy today. So I'm just gonna stick them on. They are gonna be under the body anyway. So when you stick these on, the indent right there, that's where the shock goes. That's where the shock sits in there. So you want to make sure that's pointing to the outside. And take your machine screw, stick it back on. Take your nut and stick that back on. Take your screw, stick it back in the shock, and just shove that back in there. And that is one side completed. There is definitely a lot more chassis flex back here now. I will eventually be putting in another Ampro piece in here, but for now, I'm gonna stick the stock piece back on it. There we go. As easy as that. Now the rear body mounts are fixed. Now the body should stay on. Without any issues. I do have to grab a couple body clips from back there. I will do that later. Now replacing this wheel. Of course, need to take off the wheel first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a wheel that's broken. See how far that bearing is recessed? That's not supposed to be that far back. So just pull this bearing out. And pull this bearing out. I'm not really worried about breaking this wheel because, of course, it's already broken. It's a little bit of a pain to get these bearings out sometimes. Let's see. I actually pop out. There we go, with my screwdriver. Oh wow. It actually broke my bearing maybe? Oh no, it's just a seal. The rubber seal for the bearing is, ooh, it's stuck on there. Yeah, that rubber seal's shot. So I'm actually going to replace this whole bearing. It's just a simple 5x11 bearing, so it's not a huge deal. The other bearing, the inner bearing, seems like it is okay though. So we're going to need a little mini screwdriver, some mini like Phillips head screwdriver, stick in there. And replace all these screws. There is a nut back here, so you don't want to lose those. And they will just fall out. The nuts in the back will just fall out once they're fully loosened, so be careful not to lose those. See, all these screws are out. Some of the nuts didn't make their way out. But yeah, these are kind of B-block wheels. So you have to kind of pry them off the tire. So there's the front. This would of course be easier without a camera in my face. There you go. Serve those guys out and pull the actual center of the wheel out of the tire. These old Tamiya buggy tires are notorious for being pretty difficult to install and uninstall. The fronts aren't so bad because they're so skinny and softer, just by the nature that they're skinnier. So they're not too bad, but the rears are an absolute pain. But yeah, we have brand new rear, front wheels. So cut these parts out. Technically, all I have to replace is the center part, but might as well. While we're, oh my god, can't talk for some reason. While we're replacing parts, we might as well get all fresh stuff. Alright, so there is a front and rear to this, but it doesn't really matter until you are getting the outside parts on. So stick the tire in there, make sure all the bead is sitting nice and even. And then now this part with these indents, that's the rear. That's the back side. Make sure your star matches up, your spokes. So that's that. And then over here, I really like the look of these beadlock wheels, and I like the way they're constructed. I just don't like how hard the tires are to install and uninstall. That part is a little bit irritating. So this outside part isn't quite lined up properly. Stick the screw in there right now, just to help it line up. And press them together as well as you can. But then otherwise, when you put the screws in, they should help pull all the parts together. You also, when you're putting these bolts in, you want to do them in a cross pattern. So I put that one in, so next I put this one in, and then so after that I should put in that one. And that just kind of helps make sure your wheel is getting tightened in a very even manner. so you're not tightening one side really hard and then the other side not as much. And it helps everything sit a little bit more even. I really like the way this is constructed, and I wish more RC wheels were bead locks like this, but with the crazy brushless power and high speeds that modern cars go, bead locks are just not as capable of holding the wheels on as solidly as, say, super glue will. So I'll put that bearing in. I'll grab another bearing. So grab another little bearing, press that in there. There you go. And stick the wheel back on. And stick the nut back on. Hopefully we'll have a nice spinning wheel. I guess the bearing wasn't as good as it could be, but it is definitely spinning a lot better than before. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Of course, I have a pretty beat up wheel on this side and a clean wheel on this side, but with how this thing drives, I suspect this wheel is going to get pretty chewed up pretty quickly anyway, so that's not a huge deal. Let's grab a couple of body clips. I really like these large ones that Tamiya gives you. I tend to save those for my special cars. With this one, I put the body clips upside down. Stick them in like that. Stick another one in right there, like that. And there we go. Hornet is fully fixed and ready to tear up the dunes or whatever. So it looks like it only took me like 23 minutes to fix. So it wasn't a huge job, but it has been something that's been sitting and something I've been meaning to get done for a long while. It was quite overdue. But pretty happy that it's in a good state now. I think all it needs right now at the moment, I need to stick a receiver in there and it's fully ready to run. So pretty happy about that. Hopefully you guys will see this thing running, and I will actually see this thing running for the first time in a long while on my channel. So look out for that. If you guys want to see this, like videos like this, or any other Tamiya videos, or any other RC videos in general, please give me a like, subscribe, comment down below, all the good YouTube shenanigans, and I'll see you guys next time.